Welcome back to Blueprint Bootcamp Tournament Edition. Today we're going to be doing drawing number 15, the base support stand, so stay tuned. Alright, so today we will be doing drawing 15, the base support stand. It's a pretty simple drawing. Let's jump on over into Onshape. There we go. Today we're going to be doing our part in inches. There's some things that kind of mess with this drawing and its order of operations. Some of these drawings we've done so far, it kind of didn't matter if you did like a fillet in the sketch or you did it in like an actual feature, or like order of operations didn't totally matter, but it kind of helped you with speed. This one kind of messes with you. So if we go ahead and jump on into our drawing, we'll see we're going to be making it out of 1060 aluminum alloy, and our unit system is going to be in inches, so I do not have to change my values. My default units are inches. Our tolerance is pretty tight as well. So what is the mass of this part in .xx pounds with a tolerance of plus or minus 0.01? So we will take a look at that. And this is what we're looking at. So I have this overall shape that I'm going to draw, and pretty much everything I'm going to do is based off of this 4-inch line. So we're going to do some math there. So 4 inch to the inside, 10 inches to the outside wall up here of 7.5. Overall, our whole shape is going to be 4 inches tall, with this base only being 1.5. But if we look at our cutouts, our piece here, this bottom cutout only goes in 1 inch. So that's going to kind of play with some things. I know some of my students, I've shown them this before, and they've tried to revolve this. They got really good at revolving. And you could, I guess, essentially do a sweep, but you'd have to draw this pattern first. And I feel like majority of the time I'd end up sweeping around the wrong path, and I'd make it bigger than I actually needed to. So what we're going to do today is we're going to draw from the top view. I'll probably draw this outside circle first, this outside slot first. Then we'll extrude up 1.5 inches. Then on the top of that face, we'll extrude up the rest of the way to make that 4. And then we'll go from there. So let's jump on over in Onshape and let's get started. All right, once you are in Onshape, go ahead and select that top plane. Click Shift and S on your keyboard, N to normalize, and P to hide those planes. We're going to come up here to the top, and we're going to click that midpoint line tool. And we'll come on out, make that 4. And we're going to go with the slot tool up here. It lives under offset. We'll select that, and we're going to give that a dimension of 6. And I'm going to kind of pause real quick. I know we're doing speed, but if I go from here to here, I have a center distance of 4. But if we do the math really quick, from here to this outside is going to be 3, plus our 4, plus another 3 gives us that total of 10. But if you're like me, sometimes it's a little easier to just go dimension from outside. I guess I can move it a little bit. Dimension this slot from outside to outside until it 10, and then it just does it for you. So that's kind of a little thing I like to do. So from this point, we're going to go Shift and E. I'm going to go ahead and drop that down the other direction until that needs to be 1.5. We'll say OK. I'm going to draw a sketch on the top of this, N to normalize. Again, I'm going to do a midpoint line, or I can use my sketch tool here and go ahead and just bring that in, and we'll use a slot on top of that. This slot needs to be 3.5 because 1.75 times 2, and then we need to offset this face, this piece right here, offset, there we go, offset that by 0.5. From here we can extrude up 2.5, or if you're not fast enough with math, do 4 minus 1.5, which we've already done, and that'll give you the 2.5 as well. Next thing I'm going to do is come right here, Shift and S on the bottom, Again, we will use the offset command. I'm going to click the whole face to get all the lines at the same time. This needs to go in 1. We need to extrude this inside piece, remove it, and that also needs to go 1, which is the default measurement. From here, I can just take this part, extrude, remove, and say OK. And I end up with my part overall. Right click, assign material, and go down to custom materials. This one is 1060 aluminum. Pop on in, and we get our answer of 6.26 pounds, which is correct, with a tolerance of plus or minus 0.01 pounds. You can have anywhere from 6.25 all the way up to 6.27 pounds, and that'll get you where you need to be. So pretty kind of difficult, easily, I don't know, easy drawing, but difficult at the same time. You can get tripped up in a lot of the do I go from the inside measurement or the outside, the radius versus the diameter. How is that slot done? I know we'll pop up another sketch really quick just on the top plane to kind of explain this really quick. If I do a line and I have a line that's 10 and I make that slot, well, I want the whole outside to outside of that slot to be 10. So I got to kind of do the math in between. So sometimes what I like to do is not even give it a measurement, make a slot, and then tell it, oh, I know it needs to be 6 wide, and then come in and tell it, hey, from here to here, now you need to be 10, and then it'll fix it the way I need to. Or I know sometimes the way I learned how to draw slots was it was draw a circle and then draw another circle, make sure they are equal, and give it the dimension of 6, draw a line, then you got a tangent to both, and it'll only let you do one at a time. And then I got to draw another line and tangent to the bottom of that. This is old school CAD, the way I learned, where it was all 2D. You had no extra 3D shapes. So if this is the way you're used to doing things, you could go about it that way, and then you go and tell it, hey, from here to here also needs to be 10. So a lot of ways you can go about doing that. Again, I think the slot tool is the fastest, but you got to be able to do that mental math in your head to kind of get all those at the same. I think the issue is trying to like reuse lines or just jumping in and using what works best for you. So one last thing I wanted to show you kind of was that I know at the beginning we talked about possibly doing like a cross section here as a sweeping pattern. I think the kids have been used to doing like it as a revolve. So let me see if I can try to steal a sketch from here, doing it as a section view on the front plane. So this is that cross view right here. And if I were to start a sketch on the front plane and then use some of the, it's gonna be kind of mean to me. It's not gonna allow me to use all these pieces without causing more of a problem. But if I were to draw this shape, let's say, I'll just kind of eyeball it and get close. And if I did this, and we'll just tell it to, there we go. So if I shut my part off, and you'll see we have this shape now, and I tell it I want to sweep this face along this path, I can do it. It's just going to be kind of a headache. Let's shut that section view off. So it's possible, but you still have to draw that circle, and I feel like it's easier to just go ahead and do a a circle view from there. So we'll just check the weight on this one. Assigned material, same thing, 1060, okay. And I get 6.29, so I probably didn't have something perfectly scaled, or I didn't follow the right track or whatever, right? So you'll see, let me turn these both on. It looks like it's off a little bit in some areas. So probably that sketch I did to have it walk around. Oh, yep, there we go. Horizontal. See if that fixed it. 6.277, so just out of tolerance. I got to fix another line, but a lot more things you have to check. So I don't think it's worth it. I think following along with the extrude and removing and cutting, especially when like the first tool you learn how to use in a 3D modeling software usually is that extrude. That's the majority of your cuts and your fills, and you're kind of making everything with just extrude. So I feel like most of my students and me personally, I am definitely way more comfortable with that tool. So that's going to do it for us today for number 15. If you guys are watching this on Monday the 13th, I'm going to be heading out to Boston for the Rapid TCT event out there. I scored a ticket for a 4-day additive manufacturing contest or conference. So I'm going to be hitting up the expo, talking to a bunch of people, seeing if we can get some stuff for our shop program, to get some new equipment and kind of just see what's cutting edge in the world of additive manufacturing. We have our FDM 3D printers that are normal, hot glue gun on a computer essentially, on a gantry. But I want to see what kind of powder jet and material binding and all kinds of this other stuff that they got going on. Just looking at some of the conference session titles, I feel like I'm going to Disneyland. So if that's something you want to see, let me know. I'll be there. If you are going to be there, come and try to find me. I don't have a booth or anything. I'm just going to be walking around. But if you happen to watch my channel and are going to this thing, let me know. Other than that, my students, you guys will be working on some stuff, and I will see what we can get for the shop. So that's going to do it for us. I will see you guys next week. Take care.